Hey everyone, this is Sister Crystal here with Classic Hip Hop Storage Box. And today I'm going to give you all a brief timeline on the career of R. Kelly. As you know, in recent months, there's been a lot of buzz surrounding R. Kelly. The most recent is the docu-series Surviving R. Kelly that was released in January 2019. It was a 3-day event and it was spanned over, I believe, six episodes. It was a total of like 6 hours or something like that. Full disclosure, I have not seen Surviving R. Kelly. As of this recording, March 24th, 2019, I have not seen the Surviving R. Kelly series. And I strategically am not trying to see it until after I have some information and just I want to put some input on this whole thing surrounding R. Kelly. And I do not want what I know and my views to be tainted by watching that. So I am kind of putting that out there. But the point of this is to give just a brief timeline on R. Kelly. So R. Kelly, and it's also little known facts too. So R. Kelly started his early career, his professional career, by getting discovered by Aaliyah's uncle, Barry Hankerson. And from my understanding, Barry Hankerson is or was an entertainment attorney. So he discovered R. Kelly on the streets of Chicago or what have you. And he promoted gospel plays and stuff like that. So R. Kelly came to him to audition for one of his plays, but unfortunately the auditions were closed and they weren't taking any more submissions. But R. Kelly managed to get a card from him or something like that, and they kept in touch or what have you. So shortly thereafter, R. Kelly had his first national break in 1989. It was either 89 or 1990 on the late great Natalie Cole's show called Big Break. And R. Kelly was performing on there with a group by the name of MGM. They were the grand prize winners of that show, Big Break. And the grand prize was like $100,000 cash prize. So they won that. However, between R. Kelly and MGM winning the contest and between his debut release of his album Born into the 90s, which was released in 1991, the lineup with his backup group had changed. So it was no longer MGM, it was Public Announcement. It was rumored or what have you that the reason MGM broke up from R. Kelly was that something surrounding the prize money and everyone didn't get a fair split or what have you. That's allegedly. So Born into the 90s album released in 1991 with the group Public Announcement. Also, R. Kelly was introduced to an 11 or 12-year-old Aaliyah by Aaliyah's uncle, Barry Hankerson. Now, as I stated before, Barry Hankerson, which is Aaliyah's uncle, was the one who discovered R. Kelly. Barry Hankerson introduces R. Kelly to his then 12-year-old niece, Aaliyah. And so the album 12 Play was released in late 1993, and R. Kelly totally revamped his look. By then he had gotten rid of Public Announcement, and so he totally changed up his style. So that was 1993. That was late 1993. Then 1994, Age Ain't Nothing But a Number, Aaliyah's debut album, was released in 1994. He wrote and produced the entire album for Aaliyah, and Aaliyah then was 15 years old. Also, later that year in August 1994, it came out that there was a marriage certificate which listed Aaliyah's age as 18. And R. Kelly's age was listed as 27. And so that came out in August 1994. And the story was actually broke by the magazine Vibe magazine. And so that happened, and the marriage was annulled in 1995. Then shortly thereafter, in 1996, R. Kelly married Andrea Kelly, and she was one of his backup dancers, and also she was a choreographer for his videos and stuff like that. So they got married in 1996. And fast forward to 2002, and that's when the infamous tape with the different women on there and one that looked particularly young on there, the tape hit the streets in 2002. He also went on and did an interview with Ed Gordon. Then fast forward to 2008, R. Kelly goes to trial based on the tape, but he was acquitted. And part of the reason he was acquitted was because they couldn't pinpoint who the girl was in the tape, the young girl that it was estimated she was either 13 or 14. However, they couldn't identify the young girl. And the girl herself, I think by the time 2008 was around, the girl herself was like 23 years old or something like that. And the girl was saying it wasn't her. It was alleged that the girl in the tape is Sparkle's niece, which is another artist that R. Kelly worked with. But anywho, so 2008, the trial started and R. Kelly was acquitted. Now fast forward to 2019, and R. Kelly has been charged with 10 counts of child sexual abuse on February 22nd, 2019. And as far as I know, I'm not sure if the court date has been set up. I'm quite sure it has. I'm not sure what date the court date has been set up. But from my understanding that R. Kelly has been charged with 10 counts of sexual abuse with girls between the ages of 13 and 16. And so that's allegedly with what I've learned recently. I also read that this time additional evidence besides just the tapes will be considered. So my understanding is in the 2008 trial, it was largely based on a videotape. But this time, what I'm reading is they're not only depending on a videotape, they're also looking into other evidence into the alleged child sexual abuse this time that was not considered in the first trial. So we'll just keep a lookout on that. I am old enough to have seen his career from the beginning on to where he's at now. And so a lot of people have not seen or don't remember, or maybe they wasn't following R. Kelly's career from the beginning, but I pretty much have been seeing him from the beginning up until now. And so I'm not starstruck as to what R. Kelly has become as far as a singer and his huge collection of hits. And he's also written for a lot of other people and all of that. I have seen from the beginning on up to now, that's a span of 30 years. And so I'm coming from a place of just having seen things in real time and all of that. I've also collected news articles and paper magazines and stuff like that. And that's the one good thing about back then. And I am kind of deviating a little bit, but it's tying into this timeline because a lot of the research that I have been compiling, a lot of that stuff is not on the internet. And we have to remember, even though a lot of stuff is on the internet, there's a lot of things that are not on the internet. So you just got to be mindful of that. And I'm just lucky that I've been able, or I've had the mindset to save certain things, certain newspaper clippings and different magazine articles over the years so that I can go back and refer to that stuff because, your memories get fuzzy and all that kind of stuff. So I'm going to come back and I'm going to go more into depth on R. Kelly's image, on his music, and the truth about the marriage certificate with Aaliyah. I'm going to go more into that. I have not heard anybody really talk about this. So I hope you guys will stay tuned. This is Sister Crystal with Classic Hip Hop Storage Box. And like, comment, subscribe. And until next time, take care.